Trivium with the Sin in the Sentence. What's up with this band and the letter S lately? Silence in the Snow, the Sin in the Sentence. I feel like I'm going to say Silence in the Sentence or the Sin in the Snow, which the Sin in the Snow sounds like it should be, you know, on a different site, one that has hub at the end of it. Are they doing this just for confusion, for the lulz or something like that, hoping people screw up and, you know, change the words around like that? Or maybe this is one of those, like, open-handed 5-second, you know, death thingies like you saw in Kill Bill where, you know, I have to say 5 paragraphs and then my brain will just go, well, whatever it might be, let's talk about it. And let's talk about the fact that Silence in the Snow really divided a lot of fans. It was one that was a very 50-50 split whenever it came to how they felt about the album, and that was a disc where Trivium had stated that there was going to be a bit of a changeover in their sound. They precede this album, which still doesn't have a name, with a similar message, but also add the fact that there's going to be more utilization of screams or growls, you know, some of those gruffer vocals that perhaps you were more accustomed to hearing on the initial Trivium offerings as opposed to what we have gotten in recent years. So this already gives them a mountain of I guess, expectation to really live up to. And so when the Sin and the Sentence drops, it immediately meant that there was going to be judgment that needed to be passed instantaneously. And I'm going to tell you right out of the gate that they delivered on exactly what they said. That is the one thing that can be stated about this band, is that they did not fail to deliver the message that they stated that they were going to deliver. They were actually honest with everybody, and that's something that's kind of rare, because it seems so often that bands say these things and end up falling just short, hovering back with, you know, sort of backpedaling with stuff that either has sold them records or kept their record company happy. This is a song that certainly feels like it has this sort of gap bridge between the old and the new Trivium, and they meet in the middle together, and it's a pretty nice combination. So what you get is a sincere blessing of riffs, and also, but also you get a very well-constructed structure, one that feels like it's very safely rooted within the basic elements of music. You know, you have an introduction, you go into the verse, you go into your bridge, and then your chorus. You go back to the verse, you go into the bridge, into the chorus. You go into a solo, and then you go into the bridge, and then the chorus. Or in this case, I think it was actually chorus, bridge, chorus. And it's a very safe structure, but at the same time, you can make this work based around how you're able to build around it. And that's what makes the song very well done, is that they were able to build around it with great music. They were able to deliver a very nice mixture of old and new. The chorus and the bridge feels a lot more like what you got with Silence in the Snow and the albums directly before it, such as Vengeance Falls. But this is also one where the aggressive riffing and some of those growls you hear in the background, especially near the end of this track, feel like they are very much right in the wheelhouse of old Trivium, leading up to an album such as Shogun. So with that stated, I like the fact that the band was able to sort of go outside the box a little bit. Either that, or perhaps what actually happened, if we're looking at this from a psychological perspective, is that they were able to bring all of these outside elements into the box and actually make the box a much more attractive box to those who really judge what they do. I like the fact that this is a song where they are unafraid to let the guitar do a lot of the talking and have a lot of bite. It's not something that is 100% dependent on Matt's vocals to really cause the emotion. With this solo, you're able to feel something, as opposed to it seeming just sort of benign and thrown in there in order to try to appease a couple of fans. Instead, this feels like it has a genuine place. It's not there to overcrowd the narrative, but it is instead there to enhance it. So with that being said, I think the Sin and the Sentence does a lot of good things to really get Trivium back into the pleasant, positive eyes of some of those that may have walked away. And perhaps we'll explore 5 reasons why people have started to dislike this band. In fact, I'll tell you what. Leave in the comments below 5 reasons, and if there was enough of them, I'd say if there's like 100 of them or something like that, I'll make that video. I'll do that here in a couple of days, and we'll definitely talk about why it seems like this band now all of a sudden has more negative chatter than positive. But for now, I like the Sin and the Sentence, and I like where we're going heading into this album. And once it gets a name and, you know, is released to us, then we'll get to see whether or not the band really went the full-scale changeover that they described earlier this year, or if it instead was just a clever ploy to get us excited, and then the Sin and the Sentence only enhanced that to deliver an album that largely it's mediocre. So we have a lot of questions going forward, but for now, the sin in the sentence is A-okay. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well, and I'll talk to you guys next time. I'm CoverKillerNation, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.